Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well and teach this truth in all honesty and sincerity. Salutations to you, brothers around the four corners of the earth that push this truth in all honesty and sincerity with great diligence as well to wake up the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom to you, Akwat, that's listening, learning in silence, playing your creation role as the scriptures and the Lord tells you to. I'm gonna get into a little quick lesson on these Asian attacks, man. It's just the judgment of the Lord, man. And cause they're known in the scriptures as Moab or the Moabites. The so-called Chinese have had their hand in oppressing us and coming against the children of Israel. So I'll let a little bit of this play and grab some scriptures.
Now to a disturbing rise in attacks on Asian Americans from California to New York. Our Vicky Nguyen has more. We want to warn you the videos are graphic.
Brazen attacks against Asian Americans. In San Francisco, this 84-year-old Thai man died after being shoved. Now, a chorus of voices calling for allies and action.
We are a community that's under attack.
Broadway's Lea Salonga urging a united front against hate.
There's been the Black Lives Matter movement, and now it's an Asian Lives Matter movement. These kinds of attacks are wrong, and that people are getting fed up.
NBC News first reported on the spike in Asian attacks last spring after Stop AAPI Hate created a national reporting system. So far, they've recorded 2,800 incidents.
People get pushed and shoved. They have profanities slung at them.
What should someone do if they are the victim of an incident like this or they witness it?
Again, you have to get to a safe space.
And there is no running from judgment. If the Most High be against you, then no one can be for you. And vice versa. If the Most High is with you, then nobody can be against you. And we see that with our own history and captivity of the Israelites, man, and the oppression from these heathens. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, and I'll jump to verse 8. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, because that Moab and Seir is it was a dwelling place for the Edomites in ancient times, and really the dwelling places of Sleazy E or Esau, the so-called white man, is known as Seir, Mount Seir. Because that Moab and Seir, so the so-called Chinese and the so-called white man, do say, behold, the house of Judah, the so-called Negro, is like unto all the heathen. Therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from his cities which are on his frontiers, the glory of the country, Beth Yeshimoth, Baal Meon, and Kiriathaim, unto the men of the east with the Ammonites, and will give them in possession, that the Ammonites may not be remembered among the nations. And I will execute judgment upon Moab, Ammonites and the Moabites. Ammon and Moab, those are the Japanese, so-called Japanese and so-called Chinese. And I will execute judgment upon Moab, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. And it go into the destruction that will come upon Edom because of the hatred of Judah. But Ammon is not exempt. Salakia. Moab is not exempt. He will have he's gonna face judgment as well. And they have teamed up to oppress the Israelites, and now the same thing is happening to Moab.
But secondly, we really encourage people to report.
Lack of reporting, language barriers, and the rise in violence prompted NYPD to create a permanent task force. They say Asian hate crimes skyrocketed from an average of 3 per year to 27 last year.
We'll make arrests. We'll do outreach. We'll let the community know that we're here and we're helping and we care.
At a town hall last
matter of fact, I'll go up to verse 6. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast clapped thine hands and stamped with the feet and rejoiced in heart with all thy despite against the land of Israel. Behold, therefore I will stretch out my hand upon thee and will deliver thee for a spoil to the heathen, and I will cut thee off from the people, and I will cause thee to perish out of the countries. I will destroy thee, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. So they was rejoicing, in our downfall, and they also came up against us. Jump to the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83. And I'll start at verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. So these nations came together to come against us, man, and the Heavenly Father. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. And these are the so-called white men, the so-called Arabs, which is Ishmael, Moab, the so-called Chinese, the Hagarenes, Gebal, these are Hamites, Ammon, the so-called Japanese, and Amalek, the so-called Jewish people, or the Jewish people that label themselves Jewish today, and the Philistines, more Hamites. They all have consented together back then to come against us, and it's the same way today with the United Nations. All those nations, all those men come together to represent their country or their nation, and it's all to oppress Israel.
Summer then candidate Joe Biden said he would fight racism. Last month, he announced action.
I'm directing federal agencies to combat resurgence of xenophobia. This is unacceptable, and it's un-American.
With a
He say this is un-American. I'll get to that real quick. I'm gonna jump to the book of Numbers. Chapter 22. And I'll just read it from the top. And it reads, "And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in the plains of Moab on this side of Jordan by Jericho." This is after the Exodus, from Egypt. "And Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites, and Moab was so afraid of the people, because there were many, and Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. And Moab said unto the elders of Midian, Now shall this company lick up all that are round about us, as the ox licketh up grass of the field. And Balak the son of Zippor was king of the Moabites at that time. He sent messenger therefore unto Balaam the son of Beor to Pethor, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, Behold, there is a people come out from Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me." So they was afraid, and they was looking at the children of Israel like, man, they gon' consume us up. "Now come therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail, that we may smite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I wot that he whom thou blessed is blessed, and he whom thou cursed is cursed. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the reward of divination in their land. And they came unto Balaam, and spake unto him the words of Balak. And he said unto them, Lodge here this night, and I will bring you word as the Lord shall speak unto me. And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam. And Yahweh came unto Balaam and said, What men are these with thee? And Balaam said unto Yahweh, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt, which cover the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them, peradventure I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out. And Yahweh said unto Balaam, Thou shalt not go with them, thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. And Balaam rose up in the morning and said unto the princes of Balak, Get you into your land, for the Lord refused to give me leave to go with you. And you could read the full chapter in Numbers, the 22nd chapter. And these Moabites was trying to curse us, man, back then. They were trying to overtake us back then. So these judgments are just from the Heavenly Father, man. Like you reap what you sow, man. And Sleazy E, the Lord is using him to send these judgments out, man. A lot of these attacks that have been on these people have been Sleazy E himself. You have the massage parlor thing, where these people are getting shot and killed. Hey, the Lord put that spirit on people, man, to do those things. real quick. I'll jump to Ecclesiasticus, I believe, in the Apocrypha 39. Yes, Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, the scorpions and serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So these things happen because the Heavenly Father ordained it, man. And he sent these spirits up on people to create these things, man. It mentioned, you know, these spirits, man, that are from the Heavenly Father. Fire and hail and famine and death. Death, man. So these is judgments from the Heavenly Father. And these people have been against our people, man. And so they come here to make money and capitalize off our captivity. Well, the Lord is bringing back judgment on them, man. Through you know, by the hands of the same people who they were in league with to capitalize off of us. You know, and I'll jump to the book of Deuteronomy 30. Um, 30 and verse 7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord and do all his commandments which I commanded thee this day. And the curses, you know, that are mentioned, that were going to happen to the children of Israel in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. You know, the Lord is putting these curses up on our enemies, man, and we're waking up to who we are, man. We coming back to the remembrance of our inheritance and our nationality, our language. And these heathens are experiencing the devastation that we had to endure. In fact, it's a video of a Edomite saying they now know what it feels, what the so-called blacks, Latino, and Native Americans have been going through, in so many words. Now they feel how we felt. That's the Lord putting them curses on our enemies, man. And now you have this, you know, Biden character that got up here and said this is un-American. Well, we gonna see.
fight racism. Last month, he announced action.
I'm directing federal agencies to combat resurgence of xenophobia. This is unacceptable, and it's un-American.
With a
He says unacceptable and un-American. Now let's go to the book of Nahum, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots." Now that word woe means destruction. Destruction, man. So destruction to the bloody city. You know, it's full of lies and robbery, and the prey departed not, meaning the Israelites are still in captivity, man. We can't escape this place. And you know, that's this place is a bloody city, man. This place was established, and the foundations of this place is lies, robbery, you know, bloodshed, you know. So this is very American. You discriminate against people that are not you, Sleazy E. You know, you have it's just it's a defiled place, man, because all of the bloodshed of the Israelites, man. This is very American, to persecute people that are not yourself. But Lord willing that you're edified, I would like to say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and the Bible Ball.